Experts are disputing President Trump's claims that the use of Tylenol during pregnancy is linked to autism. Many are calling the suggestions, quote, reckless and without factual evidence. John Lai is the executive director of the Autism Alliance of Canada, sir. So what did you think of the president's comments about Tylenol and autism?
Well, at this moment in time, really the big thing is really knowing that we have a need for strong evidence. And right now, what families really need to know is Tylenol is safe. None of the medical bodies in Canada has has sort of gone against that, sort of saying Tylenol isn't safe. So the best thing for families to do, for moms to do, is to follow the advice of the medical practitioners. And we're monitoring this. We're trying to look at deep dive into the data, but so far the totality of the body of evidence is to recommend Tylenol is safe. And the WHO actually this morning put together a similar stance. So we're very confident that the evidence isn't strong enough right now to change medical guidance on Tylenol.
Has your organization been fielding many questions about this? I mean, how much has this statement or this declaration stirred things up?
Yeah, so we are the national umbrella of many member organizations, and we have been very busy over the last 24 hours. We put a statement on our website just earlier today, really talking about words and facts do matter, and that we want to champion conversations about autism that's rooted in high quality evidence, reflects accuracy, and importantly, it has to honor the dignity of every person, every autistic people, their family members, every autistic person and their family members, as we're talking about autism.
In your mind, what are some of the possible ramifications of a declaration like this from the president yesterday?
Yeah, a big piece of it is the misinformation, a lot of confusion, and it's not just the misinformation about Tylenol, but the way the condition is being approached, right? So the amplified stereotypes, these proclamations that really undermine human dignity, human rights. It's very concerning for us as a community, for our members, for our families, for our autistic self-advocates to be spoken about in such a way from such a public platform.
And so just to be clear on this, from your organization's point of view, is there any validity to what the president said?
There are bits and pieces that we can kind of realize that there is emerging treatments that are being looked at, but much more, I might emphasize, research needs to be done. No medical society has sort of looked at some of the other treatments that he proposed as a treatment or as a support for autism. And science does evolve, and we're open to that. But we have to make sure we're looking at the totality of everything that has been done, and not just sort of a one-off time point. So at this point in time, we know that larger, better controlled studies, I'll call them, randomized controlled trials, other things need to confirm these links rather than perhaps some weak association studies and smaller numbers. So we got to move cautiously, and we got to be open to science evolving, but we're not at the point to say, hey, let's change any of how we're practicing or how we're thinking or how we're advising.
Do you worry at all that the comments from the president might lead to people incorrectly blaming parents for their child's autism because they did take Tylenol during pregnancy?
100%. And, this has happened in the autism communities in the past and over the last couple of decades. And it's important to realize that there is no one single cause of autism, and it's definitely not the fault of a mom or a dad being exposed to something in itself. So I think we can't frame autism in that way. We can't frame it as an epidemic or a preventable disease. That undermines scientific integrity of what we know, and it also disrespects the life experience of autistic people and their families. And I think we have to realize there's a complexity of genetic, biological, environmental factors that we don't understand completely yet.
And so this is out there now from a high office, and this discussion is being had, rightly or incorrectly. What's your advice for parents as they try to navigate all this or weed their way through it?
Yeah, I think what you need to know, Tylenol is safe. There has been no change in the recommendations. There are emerging treatments that may come up, but a lot more has to be done. And I think importantly, our intention in Canada should be focused on the work that needs to be done in Canada. And right now we have an autism strategy at the federal level, and really looking at the supports and services to improve the lives of autistic people and their families, rather than, I'll call them, over sensationalized claims communicated in ways that strip people of dignity, and that can be taken really out of context. So we've got to focus on the policy making, the advocacy, the work that needs to be done in Canada to allow the lives of people to be improved, rather than what they're trying to do self-support with that announcement.
All right, we'll leave it at that. John Lai, Executive Director of the Autism Alliance of Canada. Thank you.
Thank you.
Health Canada says there's no conclusive evidence to connect it to the disorder. It says acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol, is safe and effective for relieving pain and reducing fever when used as recommended.
Health Canada says that when used appropriately, its benefits outweigh the risks, and that the drug has been used safely and effectively for decades in Canada and internationally.